Iowa. Iowa, Iowa, Iowa. Iowa, 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 Iowa. Yeah, this state has been in the news lately. Even if you aren't following the presidential election at all, chances are you've stumbled upon a headline or two about how the frontrunners are making the rounds, kissing hands and shaking babies. It's fair to say that Iowa has been no less than mortar-shelled with presidential candidates. But why? What's going on? Why aren't they visiting other states? Well, they are, but mostly these three, because these states make up the first four contests in the presidential primary season. Different states have different dates for voting, and Iowa is top of the list. You could technically call Iowa the start of the election, but that ignores all the campaigning in the months leading up to the vote, several debates, and increasingly early campaign announcements, which at least for the 2020 Democratic primaries, pushes the starting line anywhere between 7 and 29 months before Iowa. But you know, who's counting? But that's not important right now. What is important is how we, blessed Cornhuskers, hand-chosen to be first, are gonna go about this. Isn't this just like a regular primary election where we show up and vote? No, Timothy, we Iowans are more sophisticated than that. We make our vote a more worldly event. Oh no, it's not that, right? No, it's not gonna be a... Caucuses are internal party events designed to determine a winner of a presidential race in that state, not through instantaneous closed-curtain ballot, but by open-faced public debate and discourse. Participants in a caucus will go to a designated public place like a library, church, school, gym, really any big enclosed space designed to hold a lot of people. They will then go to different corners in the room based on which candidate they support, and the initial head count begins. This is where the mud throwing starts, right? Nope. The initial head count isn't so much a teacher taking attendance as it is a spaghetti strainer. Let me explain. In any one given precinct, candidates who have less than 15% of the room supporting them are eliminated, and the people in those corners can either go home or go to a viable candidate's corner instead, in this pseudo-ranked choice, sort of proportional fashion. Iowa is a little unique in one regard. If the supporters of knocked out candidates can coalesce to reach the 15% threshold, that candidate is effectively unknocked out and is now considered viable for the mudslinging. The debate we've all been waiting for then takes place, and usually lasts at least 30 minutes, sometimes more. Sometimes there will be on-stage speakers, sometimes people will speak one at a time, sometimes it'll just be a 100-man game of rabble-rousing for 30 minutes. It doesn't matter which avenue is taken, so long as the destination is the same. A final head count after everyone who has changed their mind has switched their corners. Everyone who is tallied up here will then have their vote for president counted. This happens 1,681 times across the entire state of Iowa. But why does Iowa go first? There's a number of reasons people give, many of which are kinda unjustifiable, but one of them is because of Iowa's heinously complicated delegate process, which takes months to complete and which distributes delegates sort of proportionally to the statewide results, but not completely. For example, that 15% threshold is poison for candidates who aren't polling around there statewide, because even if they're in the 10 to 11% range, if they poll 11% in every precinct during the first vote, that's tantamount to polling 0 in every precinct before that candidate's supporters can even make their case. It's also worth mentioning that this system has not yet been tested, at least as of 2020, with this many candidates, which might show flaws in the delegate nominating process too. Because the aforementioned heinously complicated process also has to grapple between what is in line with the popular vote and what the party might want. Because citizens lining up and choosing who they want as their nominee is still a very new concept, so never underestimate the power of large, complex institutions mucking it up. Still, Iowa goes first because Iowa says so, and while that doesn't entirely make everyone happy, the impact of who wins, or even does well in Iowa, will not only affect the entirety of the race to come, but hopefully, finally make it more interesting.